Claire Valdez, a socialist backed by Mamdani, wins key New York primary. That's the headline out of New York City today, and it's a story that says a lot about where the Democratic Party's left flank is headed. Here's what happened. On Tuesday, Claire Valdez, a 36-year-old Democratic Socialist Assemblywoman and close ally of New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, won the Democratic nomination for an open house seat covering parts of Brooklyn and Queens. The Associated Press called the race, and it wasn't particularly close. With 86% of the vote counted, Valdez had 57%. Her main rival, Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso, came in at 34%. A third candidate, Councilwoman Julie Won, pulled in about 7%. Now, why does this matter beyond just one congressional district? A couple of reasons. First, this was a genuine test of strength for Mayor Mamdani and the Democratic Socialist movement in New York. Mamdani didn't just casually endorse Valdez, he threw himself into this race with, as the Times puts it, unusual vigor. He helped recruit her, raised money for her campaign, appeared in ads, and helped organize a ground operation of young volunteers. And it worked. Internal polls from both campaigns showed that Reynoso was actually leading in early balloting until voters were told the mayor was backing Valdez. After that, she pulled ahead and didn't look back. Second, Valdez's win has real consequences for the composition of Congress. She is now the clear favorite to win the general election in November in what is a solidly Democratic seat. And alongside Daria Eliza Avila Chevalier, who defeated Representative Adriano Espaillat in a separate primary, the two will double the number of Democratic Socialists of America members in the House. Valdez has already made clear she intends to be, in her words, a nuisance for Representative Hakeem Jeffries, the House Democratic leader and a fellow New Yorker. The seat itself opened up when Representative Nydia Velázquez, a trailblazing Puerto Rican progressive who had held the seat for 3 decades, announced her retirement last winter. The district has a nickname, the Commie Corridor. It includes young, college-educated neighborhoods like Williamsburg, Greenpoint, and Long Island City, alongside Latino communities in Sunnyside and Cypress Hills. About a third of its residents are Latino, and that demographic mix was central to the tensions this race exposed. Because here's the thing, this wasn't a left versus moderate race. This was left versus further left, and it drove a real wedge through the progressive coalition. Velázquez was furious that Mamdani jumped in so quickly and didn't defer to her choice of successor, especially after she had backed him in the mayoral race. She endorsed Reynoso. Most major labor unions followed. So did the Working Families Party and much of the city's Black and Latino political leadership. Their argument, old-school progressives paved the way for the DSA, and they deserve respect. Valdez's camp countered that experience wasn't the point, boldness was. She campaigned on dramatically expanding the government's role in housing construction and energy production, and on shrinking the private sector. And she won. At her victory party Tuesday night, Mamdani and his team watched the results come in with what the Times described as disbelief, hugs, hands over mouths. The crowd broke into chants of DSA. DSA. Mamdani took the mic and said, "The old politics that got us into this crisis is not the politics that's going to get us out of this crisis." Valdez told her supporters that the victory belongs to New York City DSA and that the movement is, in her words, durable, growing, and won't stop until working people will run the table. Even in defeat, Reynoso acknowledged the political reality. He told reporters he had no regrets, adding that the mayor is setting a very clear agenda about what he thinks the future of this city should look like, and it seems like the city agrees with him. The tensions this race surfaced, between socialists and progressives, between new wave organizing and old-school coalition politics, between rapidly changing neighborhoods and longer-established Latino communities, those aren't going away, and Tuesday's results are likely just the opening chapter of a longer story about the direction of New York's left. That's the story. Claire Valdez wins Brooklyn and Queens, the Democratic Socialist movement claims another seat, and New York's political left finds itself more divided and more energized than ever, all at the same time.